sometimes companies come too late. I actually saw one this morning, and they were already in dire straits, whereby they don't even give time for themselves or for potential investees to come in, and they'll potentially die off before angels can even look at them, which is quite unfortunate. Some are probably too early. They may not need funding at this stage, at this point, because funding, there's different costs of capital. It could be very expensive for them to get funding if a funder takes too much equity. The third mistake potentially is valuation of a company. I think as an entrepreneur, you always want to value your company as high as possible. As an investor, you probably always want to value the company as low as possible. That's really the balance. And that's usually the common mistake that entrepreneurs have, that they value themselves too high, and investor gets scared off. So I think it's about willing buyer, willing seller, like anything. If I'm willing to pay X amount for that, and you're willing to pay for it for that price, then that's when a deal gets done. So it's, I could like the business, I could like the entrepreneur, but if the valuation, the financials, the prospects are not realistic and they don't make sense, and that's going to be the deal breaker. John, you have some other
yeah, just to clarify, I'm an advisor of VIC, not actual an angel investor, but we do go through deals, and some of the deals we've seen is applications or investment proposals that have come to us is they don't have a proper thought through process in place. They don't know who they are selling to, where their market are, and how to address the market, how to get people to buy your product if there's any. So those are some of the common mistakes. Everyone assumes that if you've got a good technology, everyone will buy, everyone will need it. That's not necessarily the case. So you still need to have proper strategy in place, business strategy to address the market, to find the buyers and find out how much you're willing to pay for your products and services. So those are some of the common mistakes that we usually see. Yeah.
Well, I think they need to be clear on what they're looking for, not just from a funding perspective, but what kind of help they need. Is it market access? Is it continuing funding after that? Is it help on operating the running of the operations of the business itself? So that we'll know how to match them up with angel investors, which ones will add the most value. So it's not just about the money, as I said earlier on, it's also about the knowledge capital and what have you. So that's very important. They need to be clear on what they're looking for. And then obviously, as John said, the business model has to be solid. Otherwise, we've got some very professional investors in our group. If it's not up to scratch, then it's not going to get past the next stage. So, I think one has to really think through the projections, the market opportunity, the scalability of their business, the protection of the IP. I mean, all of these things which are standard things required for whether it's angel stage, VC stage, institutional stage. It just gets harder as you move along. But even to get at the angel stage, you need to have all these things in place.
Do you have any advice?
Well, do basic research. Go onto Google, go onto Wikipedia, find out who the competition are and what they're doing and how they're addressing the market. Can add value to the entrepreneurs when they're developing the business model, business plan. So as investors go, I think they're always looking for that big star, the next big thing. And innovation is a huge part of that, and a great business model is a huge part of that as well.